Hi, it's Michael, and welcome to week 9. We're coming toward the end, and we're actually moving really quickly up the pyramid, which you see over here was still on information. And the reason why that is true is because you're really just adding the ability for someone to add context or change the context of the information that you're providing to them. And that's going to be a really interesting theme moving forward. I am very impressed by all your work so far. I hope I gave you good advice about some of the problems that I think will start to get solved in the lessons that are upcoming, which has a lot to do with identity and metadata, which are both very interesting things and things that you uh, probably started with your data set, but had to remove because it's a different idea to talk about the data, which we will get into. But the important thing here was navigation and flow. How do you put the right things on the screen and get people to use them in an efficient manner? And that's a real challenge, in fact, so this is really where IA stretches into design. And what I want to do is, of course, keep my eye on what we've been working on all along, which is what are the words and concepts you've used to allow people to understand and to be able to find things. And one hope that you may have seen is that even though you all do this as individuals, that you really all are working in a similar way on a similar problem, and hopefully have used just the ability, the way we share in this class, to get you over some short-term issues, which are true if you were taking this course, let's say in UX design. You can see right now there are already patterns in place of how things can be dealt with, but what do you say there? What do you actually use to organize? That's what you've been working on, and I hope you have an appreciation of that. Um, we did also use this technique, which is this flow diagram, which I just think is here to be simple. In fact, you already worked on sitemaps, which I hope were simple, right? They're just ways to sort of look at and react to how many things there are. And so, for example, here, if you were to really look at some of these screens, you could see, and I'm going to just go here for just as an example, right? You can see that there's actually about, I don't know, 20 things that you could click on. So that means that this line here would be 20 things you could click on. And you could start to see, well, maybe I should make that a little bit fewer things, or maybe I should prioritize. And what I do hope and suggest is that you use this technique as you begin to get into the flows of your chosen service. And just like Mural could be a chosen service, I do have a list to work from. But let me just go off and say one really important thing would be to just go over here to the assignments, because I've done this many times and I've gotten a lot of feedback, and I've tried my best to just make it focused and easy, although I'm still going to definitely help you out. But if you look here, you can see exactly what the goal is, and even a kind of step-by-step instruction, beginning with creating an account. So that's the first brand new thing. You're going to have an identity. What is that identity? Super interesting to describe exactly what that identity means. Sometimes it's a few things. Sometimes it's very minimal, right? Sometimes you don't even have to create an identity. You use it from another service. So, you're just going to find out, hey, what are they asking for? What is the flow that they get you into? Because you're going to be contributing data. This list right now, um, I think is still pretty relevant. Like, these are all areas, these are all services that rely upon you giving them the information. They just kind of manage it, right? But they let you manage it, which is what's really fun. So you should be able to see what data is, how do you submit it, what does it look like, what is the way you can help organize it, because sooner or later you're going to try to figure out, like, how do you ever find your content, what organizational ideas do they bring to bear so that you even participate in their schemes. But as we get into week 9 and metadata, just an overview here. I just want you to put in a post-it of which service you're gonna explore for your final paper. This is your portfolio piece, right? There's also a video here about this transformation, right? How do we use this metadata, really, or identity, to add a different layer to what your data is already. What are ratings? You know, this is an interesting idea. I'm a little skeptical. I share this only because many don't realize that it depends. You know, that it depends what ratings mean. It's hard to do scales and numeric scales, and that's why I do give a shout out here to numbers. I know we try to stay away from numbers in the course, but the act of organizing numbers is data visualization. And so here's some static examples, but what I really enjoy are interactive examples of how do you tell a story with data. And there's a few questions here, such as what is your data? I'm really making sure like this is where your paper starts out, just describing how they do things, and you will then graduate up to try to understand how do they develop knowledge and maybe even wisdom, which at this point in time might also get you into using AI. How will they use AI once you've got data? How do you use these new tools to be able to make it more useful? So a lot of good questions, but the main point is just following through on every exercise and technique that you've already done, and try to understand how these people have done made a really powerful service by just coming up with great and clever information architecture. So if there's any questions, please ask me in any way you'd like. If you would like, I can do in-person meetings. But as always, it's really now just what's the basis of your paper going to be? What's the service and what's the data behind it? And the next week we can share more about the writing itself, which will be on Medium, by the way, Medium. So medium.com is also even on this list. So that could be fun for somebody that the actual thing that you are going to write in is also a platform in which you will submit data and have it be used. It's good stuff. And I wish you all luck, and let me know if everything's going well. Good luck.